Hello and welcome to Sports News Africa, the home of Africa's sporting conversation. Let's take a look at the headlines. Almost 2 weeks on, South African boxer Pindili Muelase is not out of her coma yet. The 2014 Kenya Triathlon returns to the holiday destination of Watamu. And Zimbabwe looks into the future with emphasis on the youth. Thank you for joining us on Sports News Africa. I'm Temeskin Devasai. And we begin with news that 2 weeks since Pindili Muelase went into a coma, her condition remains critical. The South African female boxer suffered a blow to the head when she was knocked out during a fight in Pretoria. According to Muelase's younger sister, her father had desperately tried to talk her into quitting the sport altogether on a number of occasions because he felt it was far too dangerous for his daughter. Now, all that the family can do is continue to wait and hope for the best.
Doctors in South Africa have said the country's female boxer, Pindili Muelase, is still in a coma and in critical condition 2 weeks after being knocked out in a boxing match against an opponent in Pretoria, South Africa. Muelase was right-handed on the head by Liz Butler in the 6th round of their competitive fight, sending her to the canvas where she never recovered. Doctors at the Steve Biko Academics Hospital in Pretoria said Muelase had undergone brain surgery to reduce swelling caused by the burst blood vessel. Outside the hospital, family members waited patiently to pay their visits. Dr. Malefetsane Ngatane has been monitoring the boxer's recovery progress.
She still, I would consider it a critical condition, because once you're still in ICU, you're still in a critical condition, and until you're totally weaned off from anesthetic and the sedation, then we can be able to see how far she is in terms of the recovery of her mental status and functionality.
Dr. Ngatane said the extent of the injury has cut short Muelase's boxing career, and even if she makes a full recovery, fighting will not be a smart option.
With full recovery or otherwise, she'll never be able to box, because that will be a predetermined no-no for anyone wanting to participate. Even if he was involved in a car accident some time ago and got injured, where the brain operation is involved, that person will not even get a license for boxing. So in reality, what we need to do when Pindile recovers, then we'll be able to look at what other avenue within boxing she'll be able to participate.
Boxing accidents such as these have also led to death, piling pressure on the boxing opponent. Dr. Ngatane termed the accident as a major setback in the boxing history of South Africa.
We've had boxers in the males. We've had situations where boxers have had the opponent getting injured or dying or something, but they're still there, depending on, of course, on how they take the situation, in terms of blaming and in terms of accepting that these are some of the dangers that one can find in a sport like this.
The 6th edition of the Watamu Triathlon was held in the Kenyan resort, which is better known for being a tourist destination. This week, it had attracted over 100 athletes that converged from all over the world to take part in the competition. In the end, the glory went to a local athlete who had also represented Kenya at the last Commonwealth Games held in Glasgow.
Kenya's Watamu area is famed for its beautiful beaches, hotels and coastal weather that has always attracted thousands of tourists. But recently, for the first time, Watamu became the destination of over 100 triathlon athletes who converged for the 2014 Kenya Watamu Triathlon. The grueling race took place on the backdrop of the Indian Ocean as participants raced through the salty clear waters towards their next challenge. Teams from USA, UK, Canada and Italy gave the competition its international flavor. Curious villagers watched in astonishment as teams ran and even cycled through their dirty roads. In the end, Kenya's Swale Balala emerged the winner, beating all his opponents with a huge time difference. Balala, who is just from participating in the just concluded Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, said the race was not a walkover.
This race was amazing because since the Commonwealth, this is the first race that they've done, and to see such an organization and see such many people come out and do what they did today, and this is not an easy sport. That's why not many people do it. But other than that, the race was good, the swim was excellent, and the road was good. And they had to add a twist to it, so it's not as easy as it looks. But we had to run on the sand.
The 21-year-old athlete said he kept his composure when other athletes gave him stiff competition during the race.
We do have competition, it's just that they're far behind. But I don't like to say it because then I'll sound cocky and all that. So I have competition, the guys upcoming, and then I'm also trying to train some guys and pass my knowledge down to them so they can be next in line.
Harrison Mwangi, the National Secretary General of Triathlon Kenya, said the event is in its infancy and will be improved to meet international standards.
Yeah, the level of organizing events locally and international, I can say there's a very big difference. That's in terms of sponsorship and support from the corporate sector and other stakeholders, but we're getting there.
The main aim of the Watamu Championship is to raise funds to support sporting activities in the region.
Next, in a move to tap talent of young players to guarantee the nation's success in cricket, Zimbabwe, ranked 9th of the 10 test-playing nations, is facilitating training for youth interested in the sport. The country's cricket union is investing on the youth with the aim of producing the stars of the future.
In a bid to strengthen the game of cricket in the country, the Zimbabwe Cricket Union has decided to target the youth through training to ensure a continuous source of players and improve the country's record for test matches. Dominic Lampau, one of the trainers in the program, said the union aims to develop players from an early age who will in turn play for the national side.
The key vision of this development trust is to develop players. Firstly is to develop players so that we produce cricketers, whether they are administrators, umpires or players, to feed the national team of the Zimbabwe cricket, so that in the future we see better and better cricket as we grow.
For Dennis Moyo, who started playing the game from an early age, following in his brother's footsteps, said wearing the national colors is his ultimate goal.
I cricket in grade 3.
I have been playing since grade 3 and I was motivated by my brother. I would like to play for Zimbabwe when I get older, and I would be very, very popular playing for Zimbabwe.
The Zimbabwe Cricket Union is working round the clock to ensure the youth training programs succeed and will continue running more such training, targeting talented youths in the country.
Frank Verhulst is a Belgian motorcyclist who has also taken a liking to his adoptive home, the Democratic Republic of Congo. And as the rider gears up for the 2015 Dakar rally, he wants to use his preparations as an opportunity to promote Congo to the rest of the world. The DRC is the country where Verhulst first developed a passion for the sport, which in its 36th year will be held in Buenos Aires, Argentina, next January.
Belgium Democratic Republic of Congo's Frank Verhulst hopes to conquer the 2015 Dakar Rally, his fourth since he joined the annual competition. Recently in the capital Kinshasa, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Verhulst took some time off his busy training schedule to showcase his new motorcycle and to teach fans about its capabilities.
Et alors ici, c'est toutes les indications.
Next year's Dakar race will not be new to Verhulstrata, who has already participated in the previous three in 2010, 2011 and 2013. He said a daily routine of running and swimming helps him build stamina, but the terrain in the DRC offered more opportunity for endurance training.
On n'a pas de désert, mais on a beaucoup de pistes.
We do not have desert tracks here, but still there are sand tracks which are quite similar to the ones you find in Argentina. We do what we can with what we have, and we come up with good solutions.
In his last outing in 2013, he finished 19th, his best timing ever. He described the Dakar Rally as a tough feat with unique rules.
C'est très rude pour la condition physique du pilote.
The rally is quite tough for the rider and the motorbike alike. You must be fast and in the meantime spare the mechanics of your bike. As a result, it's not necessarily the fastest rider in the race who wins the Dakar Rally, but rather the guy who manages the best balance between the bike and his physical potential.
La mécanique et sa condition physique.
Verhulstrata is determined to post even better results come next year.
Je ne vais pas les décevoir, je vais vraiment faire de mon maximum.
I'm not going to disappoint them. I'll do my best to finish as high as possible in the ratings, to prove to the world that DRC is a country full of resources and strong assets.
His coach Fabrice Manzuka said his passion for motorsports is drawing attention and is helping revive the sport in the country.
We need those races so that the people understand that motorbike riding can be a real sport. I am convinced that motorbike racing will start spreading in the years to come. In the past, motocross already existed in DRC. Then there was a time when it disappeared. But now, thanks to Frank's image and the way he performs, I think that a bright future lies ahead for motorbike racing.
The Dakar Rally is one of the world's most grueling motor rally race, which usually covers more than 8,000 kilometers across 3 South American countries.
To Kenya next, and the streets of Nairobi saw skaters take part in the 2014 Inline Cup Challenge. One of the top sides in the continent, Kenya, dominated the competition, which also featured skaters from Cameroon, Uganda, and even France.
Kenya's capital, Nairobi, played host to this year's Inline Skating Cup Challenge, which attracted teams from neighboring Uganda, Cameroon and France. The venue of the competition was a sunken car park in the central business district and was watched by hundreds of fans and curious passerbys. From the starting line, the Kenyan senior team, who had previously spent a fair amount of time training at the venue, had the upper hand, speeding away effortlessly to the delight of fans. At the end of the 100 fast-paced laps, the Kenyans had clearly dominated in the category. Victorious Simon Irungu said the competition was stiff and is even getting tougher among teammates.
I feel better, I win, but it is very, very, really hard work. I train so much, I spend my time, my money, and I succeed.
Peter Ngonyi, captain Team Kenya, praised the team's performance.
In Africa, we are currently ranked position 2, that is after South Africa, and that's according to 2012 races. So you realize we have been skating for the last 2 years and we have not been able to meet the South Africans. So I'm not so sure now who is leading in between Kenya and South Africa. And so I believe we are well placed.
The team will now be traveling to Rosario, Argentina later this month to take part in the competition, which will start on the 8th till the 10th of November. Isaac Mburu, Anthony Karancha, Sholis Eric, Simon Irungu and Teddy Andanje will represent the country. However, Mwangi Mushiri, Kenya Roller Skating Federation president, said his team is aware of the tough task ahead of them in Argentina.
Well, many countries still remain our threat because we are pretty much the underdogs, but we are getting there. So US, Colombia, Italy, yeah, someday we will beat them.
Number 316, please, you are eliminated.
In the juniors category, Kenya's Dina Kaseva won the 12 to 15 years category.
Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers has urged his players to defy the odds when they face Real Madrid in the Champions League at Anfield on Wednesday. The Reds welcomed the European Cup holders to Merseyside on the back of a mixed start to their English Premier League campaign. Liverpool have so far struggled in both domestic and continental competition this term, having played in thrilling fashion to finish runners-up in the Premier League last season.
Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers has publicly admitted Liverpool have stalled since striker Luis Suarez, who scored 31 goals last term, left to join Real's fellow Spanish giants Barcelona, reported in July. Liverpool laboured to a 2-1 home win over Bulgarian side Ludogorets Razgrad in their opening Champions League fixture and lost 1-0 away to Swiss side Basel in their second Group B clash. However, Rodgers said Tuesday his players would relish the chance to face Real Madrid on their own turf, despite the stuttering start they have made to the season. According to Rodgers, Liverpool must nullify the threat of Cristiano Ronaldo, who has already scored 18 goals in all competitions for Real this season, if they are to get anything out of the game.
Both teams will be looking to win the game. Both teams will be working hard to get the points, and we are really looking forward to the challenge of Real Madrid with the great players that they have, but also I've got some world-class players that are great quality. So should be a fantastic game, exciting game, and we look forward to it.
Liverpool captain Steven Gerrard agreed with Rodgers' assessment of Ronaldo as the main threat and acknowledged the Portuguese forward had taken his game to a different level from when he was at Manchester United. Gerrard also spoke about how he had the option to join Madrid on a number of occasions.
I've had a couple of options throughout my career to go to Real Madrid, but I've resisted temptation because of the big connection I have to my hometown club in Liverpool. It may be something that I regret further down the line for not maybe, challenging myself and having a change of scenery in a different country, but I would have had an even bigger regret to leave the club I love, which is Liverpool Football Club.
And that's the end of Sports News Africa for today. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you all the latest from Africa and around the world. Bye for now.